Hi, my name is Troy Hubble from YourDyslexiaExpert.com. Today I'm wearing a nerdy reading shirt. My wife was kind enough to make it for me. It says, "I want to be a schwa. It's never stressed." I think it's hilarious. A schwa is an unstressed vowel sound. I have no regrets at all about the start of this video. Let's get started. So one rule that I think confuses a lot of students in English reading, and that I see a lot of students getting confused by, is we have two letters that represent the sound k. We actually have more than that, but we're going to stick with the two common ones for now. Those letters are C and K. And there's a mnemonic that is really helpful, I find, in helping kids understand, or adults or anyone with dyslexia, when do we use C and when do we use K. I believe that I learned this mnemonic at a training from the Academy of Orton Gillingham Practitioners. So from a woman named Karen Leopold, who was a giant in the area of literacy. So I want to give some credit there. I'll link them in the description of this video too, for anyone who's curious. That's not the program I did my fellowship with. I chose to do my fellowship with a group called ALTA because I wanted the most comprehensive, most expansive curricula that I could find to make sure that I had the best materials for anything that I needed to cover. I'll go ahead and link ALTA in the description of this video as well for anybody interested. But without further ado, let's look at the mnemonic that I have used for a long time now to help kids remember when to use each of these letters. This mnemonic is called the cat and the kite. Now the rule here is that when we spell k before A, O, U, or a consonant, we spell with a C. When we spell before E, I, or Y, we spell with a K. And the reason is that when we put a C before the letters E, I, or Y, it no longer says k, it says S, like city or scent. So the way that we use this mnemonic is first, I always have my students draw a giant letter C and a giant letter K. I've typed those in here. And then we're going to turn these letters into a picture. So we'll start with our cat. So with our giant letter C, we're going to put little A's as eyes. We're going to put a little O as a nose. And we got to add some whiskers because it's a cat. I am a dyslexia tutor. I am not an art teacher, so you'll have to bear with my drawing skills here. And we'll put a U as a mouth. And then, to me, ears look a little bit like C's. So I kind of added this one on. We'll put some letters C's for the ears. I'm going to redo that first ear real quick. I tried to fix it by turning it 3D, and I should have just written it again. One of these days I'll learn that lesson. And here we have our cat. And this shows us that we use the letter C before A because we have A as the eyes, O because our nose is a little O with whiskers, of course, and U because our little smiley face mouth is the letter U, and a consonant because we have consonants, C's for consonants for the ears. So what about the letter K? Well, for this mnemonic, we're just going to take this sort of half of a diamond shape that the letter K has as part of it, and we are going to just complete the diamond. Then we'll add a little tail. You can, if you have some artistic skill, decorate your tail. This is supposed to be a kite and a kite tail. I'm gonna stop adding more before I turn it into who even knows what. And then we divide our kite into quadrants. And then in one of our quadrants, we put in E, in one of our quadrants we put an I, and in one of our quadrants we put a Y, and we're going to just leave the other one blank. This is our kite rule. We use the letter K before E, I, and Y. Oftentimes, I'll just leave a picture of the cat and the kite up in my classroom that I'll draw or provide it in some other way. And when students ask me, do I use a C or a K? I'll just ask them to look at the cat and the kite. And pretty soon, they start remembering the rule for this without having to look up at the cat and the kite. We want students to internalize these rules. Again, they don't have to be able to explain them. They have to be able to apply them. That's what grown-ups do, or that's what skilled readers do. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed the cat and the kite. If you think that I have some untapped artistic ability, thank you. This is the best that I've been able to produce after doing this for about 15 years. Not my strongest skill, but I have seen this help a lot of kids. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. As always, please check out my site, yourdyslexiaexpert.com. If you know anyone who is struggling and needs support. And please like this video, share it around, and subscribe so that we can get some visibility for these strategies for any families who are in need. Thank you again, and goodbye.